So ideally, you'd want. Can you guys see?
Yeah, there's like 2 blades there, it looks like.
Yeah. Well, there's 4 technically,
Yeah.
but you want them all to be stacked ideally, and they're not. So this part you could do with the.
That's the stack, right? Basically with the zip tie.
Yeah, you can do this with the zip tie because we messed it up putting them back in clock. Now you just have to be really careful because with the Vortelex wings, if you bend the hub front and back, you're changing also because each wing where it attaches to the hub is beveled. If you push the spider back on the hub, you're actually changing the pitch as well. So you got to be careful you don't mess with that. So you want to make sure you keep the hubs stationary. But that's not bad. That's not terrible.
It looks like it's a lot better.
Yeah, and I think if you didn't have that wire busted loose, it wouldn't be so bad. I think it's good enough to use the shop fan. And if you want to play with getting the rest out, you can, but you may or may not ever get it out because these are the worst blades to work on.
I think it's a lot better than it was.
Yeah.
It's not shaking itself where it's,
Well, and I wouldn't look at the cage so much. The motor itself is good. So, do you want to look at the quiet blade?
If we have time, I'd like to. Yeah, just to see what a tri-blade looks like on a strobe too.
Yeah. So as soon as it stops, we'll pass this one back.
Oh, sorry.
Hand that one back, and where'd the quiet blade go?
Yeah, sitting right behind Steve there.
There you go. Got it.
Yeah, this one's not bad at all, though.
Makes a big difference in vibration, don't it?
That little tiny bit. Yeah,
Wow.
it really wasn't way out, but it was off enough that
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Lane,
Yeah.
very close to the one I have. I had the same problem with mine. Except mine was way worse than that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It
Yeah,
wobbled.
some of them will walk right off the table.
when I first got this, I had it walking off the table. I tried to do a strobe like that, but I wasn't sure if I was doing it right. I was pretty close.
So we're not gonna right now. We're not gonna put markers on. I just want to see if it's out.
Oh, you can see if it's out without the markers, huh?
Yeah. Well, that doesn't look bad at all. One of them's a little advanced, but boy. So you guys can see it's. Try to stop it. Can you guys see that they're pretty much lapped on top of each other?
Yeah, I don't see much difference. to be
No, it's
honest
pretty
with
good. That's negligible.
That's quite alright.
So now we're gonna look at this. See, I see a
I don't
problem
want
right
to be in
there.
your
you.
way.
Right.
So the curvature. There's one blade. One blade the way it looks that's back a little bit, but the front or rear tip is correct. It's just the middle. It's not curved as much in the middle. So I bet we can look and see.
That's probably what's causing the shake on that one, though.
It could be. There's not much of a shake, but there's enough.
Clock's not bad, though, huh?
No, I don't think so. So you probably see a line where there's a crease in one of the blades. That's what we'll look for. It's got a good coast. And I guess all you guys know that the back of the blade is much more dangerous than the front. The back will nip you, the front's not so bad. You know, as I look at these, all of these have a kink right at the spider. And it's up to you if you want to change that.
What would you?
I'm not going to do it because I don't want to break your blade.
What would you have to do?
I would take my thumb and I would put my thumb right where the crease is and try to get around the blade as much as possible.
No, I'm willing for you to do it.
So
if it's
what I would do is get back there, and where you see the crease, you want to just bend that way, where you see the crease. Now I'm gonna let you do that. But that's what I would do, and then because they're in clock, and this is a hard spider to knock out of clock, so I wouldn't worry about bending the blades and getting it out of clock. What I would do, right here is where they're off. So what I would do is use the tie wrap, and I would, obviously you have to check the front tip and the back tip, but right here is where one of them is off big time. I don't know how you're gonna.
I don't know if is that even going to be possible.
Well, what you have to do is take the blade off, and I would run a piece of tape straight out from each spider. Make sure you get it perfectly in line with the spider here, and just run a line. You could even use a washable marker or something that you can wash off later. But that's what I would do, is draw a line out, and that's the part where you compare each one. But these are hard. These are not easy wings to check, because you don't really have a bearing point. So you can kind of.
You can stick it in front of my face if you want.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
You can kind of eyeball, maybe. Maybe we can see if it's off. I don't know. Yeah, that's going to be an hour just kind of trying to tweak that. That's how you're going to do it, though.
You have to try to get the middle part.
Yeah. Yeah, because, well, we can take another look here. So you see how the one blade is, let me move it up a little. See how
Yeah,
the one,
it's like shaking or something. They're back and forth.
well, the one wing is, there's three wings that are almost in perfect laying on top of each other, and there's one wing that's hung back a little bit. So that's the wing you're going to have to move forward. But what I see here too,
How can you tell? I guess you got a marker
well,
to tell which one.
yeah, you're going to have to. What I see though is the trailing tip is all on top of each other, and if you go this way, the leading tip is, if you look there, they're all on top of each other. So it's the, what's off really is the curvature of the wing. So if you look at these, they're going to have a little arc in them. That arc is not the same on every wing. So what you're going to wind up doing is, I think, one wing is going to have too much of an arc. You're going to wind up just flattening that. But you don't want to move the front and rear. You want to push the middle to kind of flatten the arc a little bit.
Just the middle part.
Yeah, that's what's off. And truthfully, I've never seen one that the middle is off, that it throws it off. So,
How does something like that happen?
well, it could be a couple things. It could be that one wing is a little heavier than the others.
Yeah.
And see, the thing is, and I don't think they ever did it on these blades, but the traditional type blades, they would actually knock them out of alignment. So if there was a heavy wing, rather than try to shave the wing, they had a fixture they would put it in and determine which is the heavy side, and they knew where to whack it, and they would actually knock it out of clock with the old GEs.
To actually compensate for
To
it.
compensate, yeah. So
then
the
you try to
problem
clock them, and then
that's the problem. You put them back in clock, and then now suddenly you have a fan that's worse, you know? Okay, that's it.
that's weird.
That's the show.
Pretty cool.
Oh, well, thank you.
Thanks for the presentation.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
no worries.
thanks.
There you go. Cool.
I love your tornado right here.
Oh, yeah.
Where does one acquire such a strobe at?
That came off Craigslist, but
Okay.
some people buy them and then don't know what, they never use them or whatever.
Look on eBay, honestly, is your best bet.
All I'd ask is if you take a lot of pictures